has no eyes. It's just a silhouette, a black, dark, deep silhouette of a human just coming down the side of my bed. Okay, so before I get into the story, this is different than the content we usually put out. On our main channel, we usually do pranks. We've only uploaded a couple videos on this channel. I've been wanting to tell this story for so long to YouTube, like to get it out there so people can hear it. I've always just put it off and I've always never, decided to talk about it. But today, I've decided to sit down and tell this insane story that happened to me. So if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more scary stories, I could do scary stories from other people. I can do scary stories from me, myself, personal experiences, whatever you guys want to see if you like them. Let's get 50 likes and I'll do another paranormal story time because I have quite a few. I also want to let you guys know everything said in this video is 100% true, and I would not just come on here and feed you guys some BS story that is fake. If you watch my my main channel, we do pranks and everything we do is 100% real. We're never scripted, we never fake pranks, we never fake anything. I hope you guys know that I wouldn't sit here and feed you some BS story that isn't true just for views. And like I swear my entire life that this story is true. I know there's probably other creators on here that they tell stories and they're faking them, but I swear my entire life that this is a true story. This is the story about the time that I met the Shadow Man. I believe I was in 5th grade. I'm just gonna get right into the story. So I was like 11 or 12. I was pretty young. So my biggest fear as a kid was always ghosts, and I was always scared of the dark. I would always want to sleep with lights on. I'd always want to sleep with night lights on. So me and my brother, we used to sleep together, my twin brother, Alex. Not sleep together as in like, Gosh dang it, dude. I can't even tell a scary story without making jokes. It was a school night. I was laying in bed. In order for you to get the full effect of this story, I'm gonna have to describe you the layout of my room, which is actually the room I'm in right now is the room that this happened in. And I still live in this house and I still live in this room, sleep in this room. So I lay on the right side of my bed and I face this wall here, right in front of me, where I have my TV and I have a queen mattress. My brother used to sleep on the left side because we were young. So I sleep on the right side, my brother sleeps on the left side. But we would always stay up late, not super late, on school nights especially. And by late, I mean like 11 o'clock. That was late for us back then. We would stay up late, we'd be on our phones watching YouTube and whatever else. And so I usually stayed up later than my brother. He would go to bed earlier, I would stay up like 30 minutes extra. And we've lived in this house for so long, we never had an issue or nothing, that's what makes this so weird. And even since that incident, we've never really had any other issues other than that, like with paranormal stuff, I mean. And I'm gonna insert a video right now of my point of view, my perspective of me laying in the bed, what I see around this room. And so obviously it's dark outside, lights are off, windows are closed. We have this sound machine that it sounds like a fan because we don't like to sleep in like complete silence. So like for the sound machine thing, if somebody steps in front of it, you can easily tell when somebody's coming in your room because it muffles it a little bit. So you can easily feel someone's presence coming to the room. So this is the only entrance into my room is this door right here. We have the sound machine right outside this door. And I sleep with my door open. I don't ever sleep with my door closed. My door's open. I have 2 windows here on the left side. Now that you know the layout of the room and everything, now I'm gonna get into what exactly happened. Also, sometimes in my room when it's dark out, my blinds, if a car drives by, it can reflect the light onto this wall over here. This wall, which is the right side of my room. Everybody else was asleep at this time too. I was the only one awake in my house because we had to get up early for school and my mom woke us up early in the morning. My dad had to work early in the morning. So there's nothing on this side of the wall here that can cause a reflection on this wall. Like there's nothing that can cause a reflection like that, believe me. Oh my gosh, this story freaking creeps me out just thinking about it. I'm laying in bed. I'm on my phone. I was watching YouTube. My brother was asleep beside me. I hate thinking about it because sometimes I'm just laying in bed and I'll look up at the spot like where it happened and I just like think like what if it happened again, and I always like look. It's 11:30 at night. As I said, my brother's asleep. He had just fallen asleep like 10 minutes ago. I would say like 10 minutes ago. So it wasn't long. I'm the only one awake. I would hear if somebody walked into my room because the fan, the noise machine, I would 100%. It's so easy to tell when the slightest thing blocks the sound machine. So I'm laying in bed and I decide to look up. I'm on my phone like this, laying in bed. I look up and I look to the left. I see a shadow emerge. I just see a shadow emerge from the wall, like appear into thin air. Like it came through the wall almost. It's 3-dimensional, a 3-dimensional figure. It's translucent, which means it's not transparent. I can see through it slightly. It's like literally a three-dimensional shadow in real life. 3D, real life, I can see this physical thing. I'm telling you, 7 foot tall. This thing is like if this thing had to come through my door, it would have had to duck. It just comes through the wall and it goes and it floats. It doesn't walk. It doesn't walk. It has no features. It has no eyes. It's just a silhouette, a black, dark, deep silhouette of a human just coming down the side of my bed. It's going like this, going like this, going like this. It gets all the way right beside my brother. Like I got chills, man. I got freaking chills right now telling this story. Dude, oh my gosh. It gets right beside my brother, right? It goes like this, turns, and faces directly towards him. And it like almost starts to like lean a little bit. But then, I don't know if it sees me or what, but that's what I assume happened. I can't tell if it's looking at me or what, but this thing just turns real quick. When it notices that I'm looking at it, I'm watching it. And I'm frozen here in fear like this. I'm just like just watching this thing. Like I'm in awe. I'm just this is like something out of my nightmares. This is what I've been scared of my entire life. It looked like it was coming towards my brother, like it was gonna, I don't know what it was gonna do. This thing notices me, I assume. Whips around back the other way and faces towards this wall here. And it slowly goes out like this. Slowly moves out like that and just disappears through the effing wall. Disappears through the wall. I swear this thing went right through the wall, disappeared into thin air. And that is the story of the time that I encountered a ghost, shadow man thing. I don't know. I'll never forget it. I've never forgot it, and I've always, that's a story that I'll never, ever, ever forget. I never told my brother that story until like 5 years later because I didn't want to scare him. I didn't tell my family the story for like 5 years because I didn't think they would believe me. And I was young too. What I was feeling after this thing left, I was scared. Yeah, I was really scared. And I kept looking up in that spot to see it, to make sure it wasn't coming back. For some reason, I felt like I was safe and I felt like it was gone. So I ended up going to sleep, but it took me like an hour or two. But I ended up sleeping that night. But I was scared, but I thought I would be more scared than I was in the moment. I just saw a ghost. My biggest fear, I just saw it in real life and I wasn't super scared. I was terrified, yeah, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't know what to do. I was so confused at what I experienced. And I was wide awake too. I was wide awake. I wasn't even close to falling asleep. I was wide awake just on my phone and then I looked up. Or iPod at the time. I think it was iPod at the time. I don't think I had a phone yet. I was 11. I promise you, wide awake. I wasn't half asleep, dozing off, and I looked up and I saw it. It wasn't a hallucination. I saw this thing in real life. There was no fake, there was no hallucination. This was real life, no sleep paralysis or nothing. I saw it with my own 2 eyes and I still have the image in my head. And the thing is, dude, I got chills. I followed this thing with my eyes. I watched it as it just walked in, floated in. You can't make a smooth motion with your eyes. If you notice when you look around the room, your eyes will jump to every item. You can't just smoothly move your eyes like this. You see how when you go like this, like a sobriety test, they move this, you move your eyes. You can see I'm not drunk too. You move your eyes, and you can smoothly move your eyes to follow the finger. You have to be watching something moving to smoothly move your eyes. And my eyes were smoothly moving. I can't say it, smoothly moving with this figure. So my eyes are tracking this thing. That's another thing that proves this too. It's just crazy. And I do have a few more stories. I never seen anything like this in another story, physically seen stuff like that. But I do have some other crazy stories if you guys want to hear those. 50 likes. That was one of the scariest moments of my life for sure. I literally never told anybody that until at least a couple years later. But now I told everybody because now it's out on YouTube. So if you guys watch this video, share this video around with your friends because this is a legit ghost story. This is 100% true. Send this to a skeptic. Send this to somebody who believes. Watch it with your friends. Show your family. And get this story out there because I want people to hear this story and I want to hear what people think. And if you can rationalize what I saw and what happened, hit me up. I know what I saw. I don't know what it was, but I do know what I saw. I still sleep in the same room. I've been sleeping in the same room 10 more years after that. I was 11 or 12, whatever. I'm 20 now. I've been sleeping in the same room, not a single thing like that had ever happened ever. I'm a normal dude. I don't have no illnesses or something that's gonna make me hallucinate. There wasn't anything wrong. I was 11 years old, 12 years old, normal kid. I think I'm gonna end it off there. That was a trip down memory lane. I haven't just sat down and thought about that time and told the story like that. Let me know what you guys want to see on this channel. If you want to see more scary stories, anything like that of that nature, I am game. And if you guys have stories, you can share them with me and I could tell them, kind of like a Mr. Nightmare type thing, how he tells his subscribers stories. But don't ever send me no fake story. But yeah, that's it for that story. Guess I'll see you in the next one.